Do you have any friends? Would you die for them? Here is the tale of a man who was such great friends with Christ that they died for each other. I am Liesl, friend to the great Ignatius of Antioch. Born at the time of Jesus, disciple to the Apostle John, and third bishop of Antioch, here was a man who knew that friendship with Christ was a virtue to be defended with your life. In a bright church, Ignatius was preaching to his rapt congregation. Solemn-voiced and wise of eye, he said, "My people, hardships will come. They are even at the door. Men will try to silence you, but love your Christ. He is a friend who will not leave you." Oh, if only, but Ignatius was cut off, for the door of the church banged open, and in mobbed a military captain, followed by a bristling riot of soldiers. "I am the captain of the guard. You, old man, are under arrest by order of His Excellency Emperor Trajan for refusing to preach the pagan gods." "And you're preaching." But Ignatius barely looked at him. Raising his voice all the louder, he cried, "Remember your dearest friend, Jesus!" But the guard struck him a blow to the face. Reeling, Ignatius spat blood and fell limp. In a bright throne room not far away, Emperor Trajan was waiting ominously. "Soon little Iggy will wish he'd not been born," he thought. Suddenly, the guard banged through the door, dragging frail Ignatius, barely breathing, behind them. As soon as they entered the hall, a cloud covered the sun, and a gust of chilly wind blew rain into the hall, dousing many of the torches, leaving the room in near darkness. "You poor devil," came the emperor's voice, sneering through the flickering shadows. "Who do you think you are to disobey our royal orders? You know what happens to Christians, Ignatius. Instead, serve me as honored high priest in Zeus's temple. You are alone. Your God cannot save you now." Suddenly, Ignatius rose to his feet. With each step, he marched closer to the emperor, punctuating each word like a knife stab. "My God is not weak. He is stronger than anything you have ever known, and died to save me from my sins. I will never stop preaching, never, for Jesus Christ is my dearest friend. I will die before serving the demons you call gods." Trajan stared at this man in blank disbelief. Gone was the frail old man, replaced by one in whom a fire burned more fiercely than any Trajan had kindled around the feet of a martyr. But this man had defied him. How dare he? Leaping to his feet, Trajan tore his robes in rage, the flickering torchlight making his eyes demonic shadows as he bellowed, "Silence! You would be friends with Christ. You would die for your God. Then die you will at the bare teeth of lions! Guards, take this man to the Colosseum!" In the silence that followed, the only sound heard was the clinking of Ignatius's chains and the quiet sobbing of a woman. Then Ignatius turned his head, and everyone smiled. Ignatius's face was blazing with joy. "Do not stop me from death," he cried. "I go to Christ. I go to leaving the death of this body and to life through death in Christ." That evening, the Colosseum in Rome was packed. Today, a great man was to be devoured. What sport, the people told each other. Outside the Colosseum, Ignatius waited. "Lord, if only I may turn to you." And then he heard it. The crowd was chanting, "Ignatius, Ignatius, Ignatius! The massive gates creaked open, and Ignatius marched inside to the deafening roars of approval and hate from the vast crowds within. "Any last words, condemned?" asked the executioner, hand poised to release the ravenous lions. Ignatius fell to his knees, and with all the strength left in his frail, battered, old body, he cried, "I am the wheat of God, ground by the teeth of lions, to be made into the pure bread of Christ!" Then he turned his head and smiled, for the lions were coming. Friendship with Christ was no hobby for Ignatius of Antioch. He was deathly serious about his faith. Many of us today may claim to be Christians, but in reality, the fires of love in our hearts are but smoldering ashes. Are you really his friend? Will you die to sin for Christ? When the waters of death loom in front of you, with the flames of the enemy dancing on every side, may you, like Ignatius, fall to your knees and trust in your friend, Jesus Christ. Thank you.